Okay, friends, welcome back to yet another session of Thinking and Destiny. We are really on the great way, the way that Percival shown us. Before we travel to how to enter into this great way, let's connect a couple of minutes to the consciousness of Percival and let his wisdom flow through me to every one of us. Please sit in a meditative posture, cross your legs, clasp your hands, and close your eyes. Please observe your in-breath and your out-breath. We are taking vital energy in various organs of the body. Breathe out all your negative energies, feelings. First of all, showing us the way we can become life bodies, and from there to light bodies. Let us all use this opportunity to ascend ourselves from doer to knower. Please place your hands on your eyes for a few seconds and open your eyes with a beautiful smile on your face. Before we go further, I'll give over to Balagaru, who can explain us the more about how actually the transformation is taking place through science. Okay?
Yeah. Thank you, Prasanna. So in the section 4, we are in the entering of the way, the spiritual way, advancing of human into the form and life and light paths. This is where, we are changes in the physical body, how it happens to become the perfect immortal body. When one enters into the great way, he is away from all his past associations and connections. He leaves the material world behind. Once he enters the great way, he feels great. He feels great, steady joy coming from source within. Everything seems to reflect the joy. With this joy, slowly a new life opens from within and goes to the outer world. Everything looks different because of the change within, knowing that he is not the body. Before, when he was in the world, he felt the pull. Now he feels the pulse because of the inner change. Now he feels the pulse. Before, only outer world could act on him. Now an inner form world begins to open to him. There is a direct interplay between doer in the body and the non-embodied portion of the doer, which is the not here and other planes. Psychic atmosphere is felt, and through the physical form, world is also felt. Now he feels how the nature acts and moves. He feels the crystallization of the minerals, seeding, feeding, and growing and dying of the plants. And also he feels the instincts of the animals, movements of the earth, water, air, influences of the sun and moon. He can feel all of this, at that stage. He feels the interaction of stars, planets with the earth beings. He feels also all the organs of his system working in the universe. With all these changes, now he feels clairaudient. That is, just by thinking of a person, he can see, hear, and talk to him. With the thought of, with the thought of, he can smell and taste the objects. Inner side, four senses seeks to manifest that, and also they act not only in solid state, but also in the fluid and airy and radiant states, the four senses. These phenomena of manifestations must be disregarded. He is saying, be careful not to use this. The inner four senses must not be allowed to develop. At this stage, nature elements obeys him. He can communicate, and the nature carry out his wishes. He can command them. If he still has anger, jealousy, hatred, lust, and longing for the attachment of like or dislike of someone, or use the powers to harm someone, then the nature forces throw him away, throw him off the great way. Now, at this level, feeling and desiring mind control the body mind and works at different planes, that is, from a form, life, and life path. Physical changes occurs in the physical body to aid the formation of the form body growth. And let us see how the form body growth happens. During the advance, there are periods of more happiness, depression, and illumination. These are all the mode elevations and depression happens. They are caused by changes into growing form body. He feels he does not belong to outer world, but he feels the outer world within his fourfold body. The beings, colors, sounds of nature feels within the body. The earth, water, air, starlight flows through his body, and he is conscious of it. If he commands the nature with his powers, it throws him off the way. He must not feel the temptation. Then nature falls away. He is alone in darkness. In this darkness, all forms, colors, sounds are gone. Four senses stop operating. Nothing to contact and feeling is stilled. He remains in darkness, but conscious of it. If he fears, the progression stops. At that stage of the darkness, if he fears, the progression stops. If he faces the darkness without fear or any influence, he will progress further. He becomes conscious of his unbalanced thoughts and begins to balance them at that stage. Darkness vanishes as the light comes in. Calm and peace comes with the light. He is free from the attractions of the world. Before and after this advance, various physical changes takes place in the body. So these physical changes are on the form path. The lunar germ opens the seal and enters into the filament. That filament is we call sushumna of the spinal cord. Bridge between front nature cord and the filament of the spinal cord was built at the base of the pelvis area. It's called coccyx region. There is a bridge of the nature cord and the spinal cord is built. With this bridge, the involuntary nervous system connected at the coccyx region. Coccyx region is the tailbone region with the voluntary nervous system. So involuntary nervous system and voluntary nervous system. The voluntary is the vagus nerve. So they both join at the tailbone, and then it is built. That bridge was built. Now with these changes, he loses his body identity. I can show the diagram. I think last time you showed. See, this is the bridge here. Coccyx region. Now with these changes, he loses his body identity. He identifies with himself as the doer Atma. Now he can sense his and others' thoughts. At this stage, he can sense his thoughts and others' thoughts also. These thoughts enter into the spinal canal from the sense organs, runs through two nervous systems, and they pass into the nervous structure junctions that replace the former organs in the body and connect with the nervous stations. That means what he's explaining is, all the organs in the front, they change, and and replace the former organs in the body and connect with the nerve stations. Those are, and also the centers, those we call, chakras. Various changes happens in other organs of the body while spiritual progress is happening. Kidneys become less active, Testicles, ovaries, they are drawn towards the kidneys and become very small and inactive. Bloodstream gradually stops to build and maintain, but it acts as the conveyor of the nervous force than carrier of the nutrition. So basically, the bloodstream also, it acts as the conveyor of the nervous force instead of the maintaining the nutrition in the body. Nutrition is taken by breath directly from the four states of nature matter at this stage. Brain takes and sends impressions more easily than it was before. Spinal cord takes more of a brain structure. So at that stage, the spinal cord forms like a brain structure. Spinal cord central canal becomes larger and widened. Okay, the spinal canals, it becomes wider and and larger. The terminal filament, that is Sushumna, Sushumna Nadi, greatly widens and reaches to the tip of the spine. The intestinal tract stops to be a feeding tube. That is our intestinal tract stops to be a feeding tube and a sewer of a wastage, and anus disappears. Because, all these changes, through these changes, and also further, the colon of our larger intestine becomes part of a nerve structure similar to the spinal cord. So the large colon also becomes like a spinal cord nerve structure, becomes like a nerve structure and merge into the spinal cord, and called the front nature cord. It becomes like a front nature cord. Former esophagus and involuntary nerve system merge into this front nature cord. So even the esophagus, the stomach, from the stomach, what we eat, all these esophagus and all this, it becomes merged into the large intestine of the nervous system into the spinal cord. Right and left vagus nerves run close to the front cord. Front nature cord is in the front of the abdominal cavity, slightly curved than before, pointing towards the tip of the terminal filament of the nervous system. So here it is, he's showing it is little bit like curved to become, this is not, that's what he's talking about. So the terminal filament of the front cord is in front of the abdominal cavity, slightly curved than before, pointing towards the tip of the terminal filament of the nervous system. With all these changes, yogis, what at that time, they eat less, they need not, sometimes they go without food. And also they need not go to bathroom at all, because of all these changes. Front cord becomes enclosed in a tough structure. This becomes front or nature column. At that time, it becomes, even that cord becomes resilient, very tough. This front nature column takes the place of the sternum and extends to the pelvic area. Further, it extends to the pelvic area. That's what, here, he's showing it. And from now the body becomes two-column body. Front column and the front cord becomes similar to spinal column and the back of the spinal cord. The lumbar section becomes form path. Okay, the lumbar here, he said the lumbar section, from vertebra, different sections, he said, sacrum, fifth vertebra, lumbar, different 12th dorsal vertebra, different vertebra, from lumbar section, the bottom, it becomes the form path. And the dorsal, the middle of the spinal cord becomes the life path, and the top portion, the cervical section of the spinal cord, it becomes the light path. and then along the spinal column, the lunar and solar germs travel when the bridge between the two nervous systems have built. So when the bridge has built along the spinal column, the lunar and solar germs travel. We started before we discussed that how the solar and lunar germ they unite after 13 rounds of the lunar germ. So and then there is a continuous central canal running down within the front cord across the bridge and upward within the spine. So what happens? That there is a central, so they run down on those two solar germ, lunar and solar germs, and then within the front cord across the bridge and again upward the spine. in the front, in the front, they run here. So in the front, they run down and go through the bridge and then went upwards. So when the lunar germ at the 13th run fused with the solar germ descends and reaches the tip of the filament by the bridge at the pelvic region. When lunar germ has entered into the filament in spinal cord, it travels along form path in lunar in lunar region. It comes in touch with the non-embodied portion of the doer. So this is, remember here, when this filament in spinal cord, it travels along the form path in the lunar region, it comes in touch with the non-embodied portions of the doer, which is not in the body. It comes in contact with in other planes of the doer region. It comes in contact with the non-embodied portions of the doer. It develops into embryonic form body for the doer. At this first lumbar vertebra, embryonic form body, it falls into the filament, it fills into the filament, and now physical body is on its way to sexless immortal body. So at this first lumbar vertebra, embryonic form body, it fills the filament. That means the Sushumna Nadi, it fills with the energy, that energy now it is ready for the immortal body formation, he's saying. The form path, the embryonic, now the form path, how it forms. The embryonic form body of the form world goes through many phases like physical embryo. They put in touch with the higher planes of the form world. The phases are promises of future and resemble a globe or egg column. So he says, at that embryonic form of the body of the form world, it is like forming a egg and column like real embryo. When the embryonic form body is fully developed, it has reached the end of the form path. Now, feeling, desire, mind are under the control. So it is not under the body mind. At this time, the aspirant sadhaka must take a choice. If he chooses to continue, he ascends from the filament into the central canal of the spinal cord, and from there enters the life path second section. Okay, at that time, after forming the form path in a form body, he decides, whether to go further or not. If he wants to forego or not to go further progress, then the embryonic body emerges from the filament, passed by the solar plexus at the navel, issues from the body into the form world. At that point, it comes out. The proper choice for human is the proper choice for human is the threefold way or great way, he's saying. Life body can be developed only if the human decides to know who he is, what is permanent in him, and continuously conscious of his real identity. Only if it is like that only, then he is ready to develop further into life body. With this desire, thinking will be adjusted, light will be given to be conscious continuously. So if he desires like that, then the light is given continuously. So the life path. When human entered the life path, some physical body changes occur. What are those? Nerves are not visible. Important nerves mainly affect the lungs and heart. Lungs act like cerebrum, heart with the aorta. Thymus and other glands act like cerebrum and pons, like brain structure. When one has made right choice, an illumination takes place. Desire mind and psychic mind are balanced and act quickly with certainty without confusion. At that point, his desire mind and psychic mind act with certainty. After the illumination, mental atmosphere, light becomes diffused to clearer. So normally, at the mental atmosphere, the light is diffused. But for him at this stage, it becomes very clear. Subjects he thinks about are very clear. Whatever he thinks, everything is very clear. Darkness, ignorance flee before the light. Everything, all the darkness, ignorance disappears. His comprehension takes the place of the apprehension. So no fear. Through feeling and desire mind, he sees and hears the purpose and understands the physical world problems thoroughly. Following the ascending choice, a connection is made with the non-contacting portion of the thinker, Okay, at that stage, he contacts with the non-contact portion of the thinker. He feels as though living in a new world. This is how in the life path only contact with the thinker happens. He senses his mental atmosphere through his physical atmosphere, the life world. He senses through his newly developed nerves. All this he senses through the newly developed, almost done. With more illumination and the thinker connection, he gets mental powers. At this stage, he gets mental powers because of the more illumination and the thinker connection. He can use these mental powers in the life world. The mental powers are separate. They can separate, merge, and combine units and create new types and laws dealing with them. They can create, merge, and separate. All these powers he has. These powers come from thinking with rightness and reasoning. At this stage, all thoughts are balanced and there is a stream of light, bright light. Thinking with rightness and reason holds the light steadily towards an object, towards a subject and object.
Thank you. Thank you, Balagaru, for a detailed recap, which is very much required for every one of us. To recap, like how actually the body formation and is changing when we are actually going in the great way. So here we come to a point where all the thoughts are balanced. All the thoughts are balanced here in the sense we are able to, so we don't have any unbalanced thoughts or just like the talking or that kind of thing. Like what exactly that you are doing. Before they are balanced, right, they interfered and made impossible the thinking he is able to engage now. So usually we say that it is impossible to get all the balances, but it is possible. There is a bright light, the stream, because the light which is reclaimed the balancing. How he got it? He just reclaimed his light. Whatever the light, where all the light bodies came here, and we think that we are all these gross bodies only. But whenever with all this thinking, when he went back, he is able to reclaim his light. So with his righteousness and reasoning thing, right? He is able to do thinking with the righteousness and reasoning. Whenever we are doing, that light holds steadily towards the subject. Whatever the subject you are actually thinking, it's not the subject means it's not that computer science, biology, and all those things. Anything that you are thinking, right? So you are able to hold constantly the light, and you are able to understand it, right? That whose thinking is directed, that to whom the thinking is directed is the knower. So the thinking will be directed to the knower. Rightness receives the light not only from the mental atmosphere, but also from selfness. Selfness is coming from the I, right? So this light is coming from mental atmosphere as well as the selfness. So this light shows how the work to be done. So how the work should be done. So and also the power of that embryonic body, the light bodies going up in the spinal cord, when they progress, the thinker, right? So he contacts whom he contacts and operates this embryonic life body. The light body is contacting the life body and actually working on the solar gem, which is being prepared. The solar gem is prepared, right? So by thinking from the future development of the life body, it was prepared. So it descends from the right side. It descends from the right side and ascends to the left side. So it is when it descends from the right side, right side of the hemisphere, and hemisphere of the spinal cord, and ready to enter into the central canal. So when it is descends, it is ready to enter into central canal. Central canal here is the spinal. That in between that nadis, what is that main nadi, the Sushumna nadi, right? So it is ready to enter there, and ready to enter and growth and lighten that filament. So that filament you can always call the modern science at the way we talk it as a kundalini kind of thing, right? So once you enlighten that, once you just open it up, then you will be able to actually practice. You will be able to see that entire thing, right? How it goes. The solar gem meets the embryonic form body at the upper end of the filament, the end of the path. The embryonic body is the form body. The central canal of the spinal cord, it is passing through the central cord of the spinal cord. This is the time of the choice again, the illumination and the connection with the now embodying the thinker. Thinker can take a decision again here. The way now all the four minds, here all the four minds at the body, mind, all the minds are working very harmoniously, right? The doer develops the union of that righteousness and reasoning and how the life body is developed. So definitely when all the balance, when everything was balanced, right, what is happening? The user is able to take the right decision. He will not use any wrong ones. He'll take the right decision. So the more the thinker is embedded, these bodies is traveling to the spinal cord and come to the seventh cervical vertebra, just now as she explained, of the embryonic life, and it reached the full development within the form body. The body was reached the full development. The perfect physical body at this stage has largely the body of nerves. Now it's all the nerves, the body of the nerves, the pair of nerves coming from the spinal cord, and corresponding pair is issued to the nature cord. So everything was the tissues and the circulatory system and respiratory system became also now those tissues also became nerves. Organs in the body became the centers of those nerves, whatever the organs that we have. Nerves are not the core structure and found in the human body, but radiant and luminous lights. So they are radius and luminous lights. The body was alive. The centrum, now the part of the first column, flexible and extends and blends with the pelvis. It is blending with the pelvis. All the arches, the bones have become very resilient, and the marrow in them is turned to the luminous matter. They were all like luminous. Once you are becoming the light body. Again, here a choice must be made by the person. The embryonic body of the life is reached its growth. So when the life body was reached its growth, so it is the time that it has to go to the light body. The next one is the life body, right? So with the breath of the spinal cord through the throat out of the mouth of the life world, it takes the light path. So light path, how it takes with the breath. That's why we say that breath is the guru, right? With the breath of the spinal cord through the throat out of the mouth, out of the mouth of the life world, it takes to the light path. If you are so determined to be being in the life world, I don't want to go to the light world, I want to be in the life world. So the embryonic life body will issue. So then you can stay in that life body. But as a choice, you will be making the light path because your thoughts are balanced. All four minds are working harmoniously and perfectly. So you will not stop your growth. So you will enter into the light path. The life body is not an issue at all. So you won't feel that you don't want to, like physical body, I don't want to leave the physical body. That kind of feeling will not be there when you are into the light path, right? You will not feel that way. So it is the instantaneous process of desiring to know, knowing and thinking, right? Instantaneously, you will be able to, the moment you think, you are able to do that, right? Light in the light bodies and light things. So you want to be there. The human knows history, continuous system, the streams, four worlds, earth sphere, everything he knew. He knew that he can manifest, he is manifested the side of the light world. He can manifest the unmanifested sides of the life form, physical worlds, anything. He knew that the events, the first, second, third earths, right, and civilizations, how these changes had happened, he knew everything because he is becoming that knower, right? He knew the earth forces, how it is directing and how they are controlling. He knew that immortal government, not all our US government, Indian government. He knew that immortal government in the realm of permanence, how they are doing, how they are governing men and women, how they are changing the world. How the human's feelings and desires are much finer and much potent, and they are discovering from the emptiness. Okay, how he controls his feelings, and desires by thinking. How we can control our desires, feelings, and desires by thinking. Feeling and desiring and thinking are as one when you are with the knowledge. So when you are with that knowledge, you feel that knowledge, you feel that eternity, you think that one, and you know that one. So this all become the one when you are in that body, when you are that. The embryonic life body was fully attained, developed, has risen the central canal of the spinal cord to the seventh cervical vertebra. It where it meets, it's meeting that light germ, okay, of light germ from the pituitary. But when it's raised, right, it is reaching pituitary body, right, it is reaching. The light germ comes from that part. That is what is that light germ? It is the knower. Knower which contacts the pituitary body. The knower is coming and contacting the pituitary. Until now, you are not at all, you and me are not at all touching that knower part. The knower part is always in the highest stage only. Thinker part, sometimes we are touching, we are always in the doer portion. But now you are touching that knower portion. That light is greater than sunlight. That light, whatever that you are touching, is greater than the sunlight. Yet, your eyes cannot see that light. So this embryonic form body or embryonic live body and embryonic the light body are together, all the three together, they are traveling in this light path. The three embryonic bodies have passed the first cervical vertebra. The human has come to the end of the life path. So when you are passing, so you are also coming to that end of that light path. So end of the light path is the way the body has been completed, developed the light body. So complete light body is also completed. The way that attained to control the mind's I-ness and selfness, that is the end of the way, the great way. The way in the interior of the earth has been reached, and the physical body, which is now perfect, regenerated, and this is immortal, sexless physical body. That's where your body will become perfect, regenerated, immortal, sexless physical body. With these three bodies have been passed to the third vertebra of the brain, though they approach the pineal body. Okay, the pituitary body sends a light stream to the pineal and opens the three ascending bodies enter into the another light stream. So it is all the three bodies are entering into the another light stream of the body. The light stream enter into are united in the embryonic body. So do you think that light body, when you are becoming, do you think that you will have a body parts and all?
No.
No. So once you become the light body, you'll not have the form. That we can always, because we know, right, other history, but in these days we can pretty much, I think we can relate to the, what is that? I'm just not getting the name, Andy. Last class we discussed Mahathar Babaji. Okay, because we never see his physical body ending. He became immortal, and many people are seeing him as a light body. In their meditations. To many people who have done enough sadhakas, he's coming and giving instructions what to do, what to spread, how to do it, right? So this is how one can become. So Mahathar Babaji also came in this earth with a physical body, and he must have done all this, and he is still surviving. He became the perfect body, perfect immortal, sexless body, right? So he is able to do that. So the knower, thinker, doer inhibit immortal property. All the three together inhibit the immortal property of the physical body, and all the 12 portions of the doer are firmly re-existed successfully. They will re-exist as a light body. So the knower, thinker, and the doer, the triune self, is in the form of life, life, and the form bodies. They are ascending the roof of the head of the light world. So they are not coming to this anywhere in the physical. The light body ascends in the world, but the life and form bodies do not come forth. So the light body ascends. These bodies will not go beyond certain level, the life and form bodies. The light body has no form. It doesn't have any form. In a human standpoint, it was just conceived as a globe of light. In order to understand how the light body, it will be a globe of the light, and light is invisible. And as the light body ascends, the doer enter into the functions through the light body apart from the physical body. So now they are entering into the light body, light world. So their work is totally different. It is not that come and study and then do a job, earn money. Not like the physical bodies that we are doing. Their jobs are completely different. The way that they have to do is completely different. Those, whoever has bent of mind, they will get influence and they will try to turn into the thing, right? So that is all that these people who enter into the light body are doing. The knower never left the light world. Once he ascends all these things, do you leave the light body?
No.
The knower never leave that light world. Here, and also what he's saying, your knower and my knower is still there in the light world.
Yeah.
Our knower portions are also there in the light world only. They never come back. We have to try to reach to that light knower. We have to ascend. Only the portions of the doer is successively embedded. Some portions of the doer went on to all these forms. They went and they merged into that knower portion. Now there is a unity in its portion. The doer, thinker, knower, right? So they are not working under the spill of sexes or the senses. Though it is a knower, the doer of the triune self knows all lives are a dream made up of many dreams. Each was so strong, so fast, so real. So when you are becoming a knower, then also you'll go know there are so many lives this doer has born here, means existed here, but those are all the dreams. There are many dreams, many lives he has done. He has did. Suppose if you go on thinking about something, right, you will dream, is it not? Your thoughts will come in the dream, right? So here, when we are go on thinking about, you are go on actually taking the births and you are living. So these births are nothing but your dreams. Are your actions, the result of your actions. That's all, right? Whatever you are thinking, that is becoming a destiny. Whatever you are doing, that's becoming your destiny, isn't it?
Yeah.
So through the knower, it knows the relation of the great triune. But when you are the knower, you know that relation between the great triune self of the worlds to the intelligence that it is raised, how it is raised. As a human being projects build up themselves, then they become the supreme intelligence. When they become there, they will become that supreme intelligence. The thinker takes being the life world and is being the life, because the thinker knows that where is the life world and life body. So because the life world is the place where the thinker is doing, knower is the light world place, right? The difference between the matter of the triune self and the nature matter is matter of the triune self cannot be seen by physical sight, even by the clairvoyant. If you are the knower, clairvoyance also you can't see that. Okay, it is conceived from the physical world, but it is a luminous body, like a void column of the body and have no limbs and features, right? That's how a thinker and a thinking breathe the embryonic body into being in the form world. And the doer inhabits this body and being the form world. Whoever is a doer portion, because he is the one who started, because we are all the doers, we have to start that, understand this, think that, and make that physical body into that form world, and then from the form world we can take into the life world. That's how we have to do it. It is more apparent that with the being of a life world and being of the light world, the form of body of the doer is ideal human being. The matter is a matter of the physical plane of the form world. That's how a being of the form world is feeling and desire refined and potent to the highest degree. The being of the form world is feeling and desire refined and potent to the highest degree. The perfect body at the time when the three inner bodies issue, it's a still physical, but it's so different from the so different from the previous physical body. Even though all the bodies are together, all the four brains are together, are make together currents. So they are receiving the impressions that are coming from the four worlds. But now it is different, because you are the knower, you will not be keeping it. You will not be keeping, or you will not making any of the extra impressions over there. So here he is also saying like how these are all the right. The sex organs entirely within the pelvis, and the ovaries and testicles are more like inner brain and center of the nervous. So the spinal cord is very much larger than the man, larger than with the man, and extend to the coccix. And it is not the nervous matter, but currents and coils of the light. It is not the nervous matter, it's current and coils of the light. The circum and the coccix are articulated and flexible. They are completed the similar structure which has been built with the first column of the pelvis. Because this is, we are talking about how the organs are changing in the light world. There is no alimentary canal, and it has become the part of the front cord. There is no blood. that has changed into the life currents into the higher power. It's no blood. Respiration does not come through lungs now. Air and drink and food come through the cells of the skin. Cells of the skin, it will come. You need not have the respiratory system to breathe and process and all this. There, you can absorb the food. The absorption can be done with the smell itself. There is no wastage at all. By coming, so there is no need of going the restrooms and all those things. It is not. The matter with the body is cellular. Few cells are bisexual and others are sexless. The same as the human bodies, it is a superlative in degree. It is same as human body, but very superlative in degree. In the human, the cells are out of touch with the four states, but here it is only the out of with the light body. The physical body from which it has been issued, a body from being the light world, the matter has a direct relationship with these bodies. Therefore, to give an illustration relating to the food, the cells in an ordinary human body has to be fed with the gross physical food. We have to eat some food, right? Gross physical food in the physical world is needed to maintain their structure. But when the cells have become higher power, it is an indirect touch with the finer matter that they take it, they need whatever they need it, they will take it. The breath units of the cells get their support directly from the fire units. Breath units will get fire from the fire units of the physical world. The life units will get support from the airy units of the world. And the form units directly get the support from the water. The four senses that we have, right, of course, they belong to nature. They are not us. They belong to nature. They are still the ministers and ambassadors of sight, hearing, taste, and smell function. So they'll still be there as an ambassadors. They're all carried out the higher degree of development. Okay, I may not need any glasses as I grow. So because it is not just that thing, right? It is that power that it is actually doing it, right? So once you see, right, once you are actually leaving your physical body, the eyes are here, right? The physical eyes. But even in the astral body, you have the power to see. That with that power you are seeing, not with that physical eyes. The sense of sight can receive the impressions from the nature with the fire and color. So it is with the sense of hearing as the air and sound. Then the AIA is done in the body. The AIA is done in the body. The breath form is the medium by which the senses and their systems are operated to the front card of the doer. That's how it is started. The AA will start. The breath form adapts itself and likeness of the form body. The breath form started with the form body, and the physical body is exteriorized image of the breath form. Physical body is just the image of this breath form. The breath form is directly touched with the matter of the four worlds. So enable the physical world. It enables the physical world by touching it. The AIA of the perfect body will be translated into the triune self. The perfect body AIA will become triune self, and the triune self of that body is becoming what? Intelligence. This intelligence is raised. This intelligence was raised to the AIA and triune self of the body. That closes the section 4 of the Great Way. We still have 5, 6, 7, 3 more sections in the Great Way. Okay. Next, we will see the way in the earth. Okay. This is the Great Way. We have seen all the things, right? But what is the way in the earth? How from the earth, how the ongoer leaves the world, right? The form path, what he sees it when he is leaving the physical body, when he goes to the form path, what he is seeing there. What are the shades of the death? Actually, what they say is in the spiritual, everybody will given a signs of the death from 6 months before itself. Whether it is an accident or anything, right? You will get some scenes, it seems. So scenes are some kind of signs you will be getting it. So here,
symbols or signals.
Signals, yeah. Signals. Okay, what you see there, shades of the death and last portions of the doer, how the choice can be made. So this is the next topic in the Great Way. We will see that next session. We have pretty good time because she asked me to come close, but before 10 minutes, but we have pretty good time. I just completed the section, so I don't want to start new.
Yeah. 3 more minutes.